to them are coherent. So a lot of long-range correlation and even synchronization occurring in this system. But I don't think you could equate that with Dr. Gerald Pollack's EZ water. And in particular, because that semi-crystalline phase of the water, it gets that moniker EZ because it stands for exclusion zone. So the water actually, because it's behaving a little bit more like a solid than like a liquid, it will exclude solutes from entering. So, in some of these reaction compartments in the mitochondria, where you need solutes, you need metabolites and redox molecules that are going to accept and transfer protons and electrons. You don't want easy water in some of these reaction zones. Nevertheless, because of the spin component, I'm sure that the water is still very coherent, very ordered.
Right. Well, that's a good one. And I'm glad you answered that one. But, as well, I think that the concept of easy water is a great concept, exclusion zone water, and definitely the work that Gerald did is remarkable in being able to not only measure more accurately what goes on there, but even extract easy water in certain state, like a solid state. That was room temperature, solid state of water. It's kind of strange, but that to see that the water molecule and the way water function, which is from which all life emerged, is not such a clear and clean understanding, in the standard model, and that there's something much more profound that's happening in the water structure that makes it possible for life to emerge from it. Then there was another question, this one from Lynn Sylvia O'Connor. If we want to bring her on, I think, how will this new understanding of the makeup of our individual and collective existence contribute to the good of all? So that's a good question. Excuse my shady reading. That's just my dyslexia kicking in. Hi. Oops, you're muted.
Okay, there we
Hi.
go. Hi. I am so excited to see what this is going to look like to bring it to the public, to bring it to the common individual, to be able to begin to have it understood at some level and help actually help midwife this whole understanding into the populace. So what can you tell me about how to do that?
Lynn, where are you at?
I'm on the coast of Maine in the United States.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, so, okay, well, clearly we're going to do that through the channels of the scientific community and the peer-reviewed journals and so on, as well through technological demonstration shortly thereafter, that have to do with, demonstrating these effects are occurring, and some of the technological demonstration have been done already by other parties, like accelerators measuring properly the radius of the proton and so on. But what I think is more important. This is why I picked your question, is that um, as the public understand this, right? As the world understand this, that it has been found, and it's so consistent, it's so solid, it's so, you can't move any piece. Everything is out with 12-digit accuracy. You can't move any piece anywhere. Uh, there's no free parameters. There's no funny business. There's no new particle you gotta invent that, like dark matter that interacts gravitationally but not electromagnetically. And you don't have to do any hand waving. And so when the population will understand that, then I mean, as the world understands that, it becomes clear the unification even philosophy, unification of religions, unification of our understanding of our reality, of ourselves in it. I mean, it has profound capability to transform the world at a very deep level. The way we organize, the way we interact, the way we treat each other, which is really the first step of a more evolved humanity, a more evolved civilization, is really to unify, realize that we're all on a small rock flying through space, and we better understand how that all works. And we better understand it in time, because these small rocks flying through space, they get knocked out all the time. And, just like electrons don't do, and so on. It's just at a different time scale. But for the universe, it's for sure, there's going to be a sun flare, there's going to be a comet, there's going to be something at one point that will intersect our path and change the environment on the surface. And it doesn't need to change much for us to, just be kind of taken out of it and reorganized. So basically, there's a little bit of a ticking, time clock for us to unify, just like the bacteriums we were talking about earlier, unified, figured out how to function together to produce something really positive for the whole. And I think we're really, really there now. And having the physics is just undeniable. Physics that's undeniable, it's there, right? So it's like, yeah, these religions and these philosophies and all this were, kind of in the ballpark, right? But here is how it is, how it works, and it includes, like spiritual thoughts and spiritual understanding, and it includes all that stuff, because it's not a linear relationship. It's unified, and it's unified for the very reason that it is non-local and it's a network, and so when you ask like what it will produce for humanity,
For the good, and can it be misused?
um the, so yes, everything can always be misused. um uh
So are we staying out ahead of the curve to be able
well
to tell people that they are in charge of their existence, and we're going to let them know how to be able to utilize that knowledge and ability to be able to build a better world? Yes?
Right. The thing is that the physics themselves, the theory itself, defeat the concept of individuality and selfishness in such a way that misusing it would literally go against what the theory says, meaning that like it says that that everything is unified, everything influences everything else, that what you do over here will have an impact over there, and all this. And I think that with what happened in the last few years on planet Earth, we're finally at a place where people are really, you know, in a place where they are really wanting the next level. They really want it. The population, I'm talking, not necessarily the institutions. Uh, However, the population is the people in charge, unlike what the institution believe, and there's gonna be, of course, there's an evolution through this, but I'm confident. I'm really confident that it will produce positive results. One of them being, for instance, if I give you an example, let's say that all of a sudden you can produce energy wherever you are, right? Mm-hmm. And this information is known to all around the world. It's available, right? The tendency to war for energy becomes a little bit irrelevant. Right? The tendency to like wanna, conquer other countries because of their energy resources, or like the battle, which has been like a really fundamental battle, goes away. And the stressors for humanity capacity to have abundance and have everything they need becomes much higher. If you can produce energy anywhere, you can greenify, deserts. You can, desalinate water to produce drinking water. You can do all kinds of things. You can transfer massive amount of goods across the world easily. And then there's much less impact or zero impact on the environment when you're producing that energy, and so on. This right there removes a lot of the stressors